Ever wondered where your favorite foods originated from? Let's embark on a culinary journey to explore the origins of 10 classic foods that have made their way to America. First up, popcorn. This beloved snack has been around for quite some time. In fact, the earliest known popcorn kernels, dating back a staggering 6,700 years, were unearthed at 2 archaeological sites in northern Peru. The tradition of popping corn was a common practice among indigenous Americans, with even the Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés observing Aztecs using it for decorative purposes. Chewing gum, another classic, traces its roots back to the Maya civilization. They chewed the dried sap of the sapodilla tree, known as chicle, a tradition that was later adopted by a New York entrepreneur. After a failed attempt at marketing chicle as a raw material for rubber tires, he rolled it into balls and sold it as chewing gum, and thus, this classic was born. Moving on to the humble potato, a staple in many cuisines today. This nutritious tuber was domesticated by the Incas and other indigenous civilizations in the Andes about 8,000 years ago. Spanish conquistadors brought samples back to Europe, mistaking them for a kind of truffle, and the potato quickly spread across the globe. Tomatoes, a key ingredient in many dishes today, were relatively unknown outside of the Americas before Spanish colonizers brought them over from South America to Europe in the 1500s. Initially believed to be poisonous, they were merely used as decoration. However, by the 1700s, British settlers had brought them to their North American colonies. Next up, pretzels. These delicious baked goods were first made by monks, either in northern Italy or Germany around 600 CE. They shaped leftover dough to symbolize alms folded in prayer and awarded these treats to children for memorizing Bible verses. German immigrants later brought pretzels to Pennsylvania in the early 1700s. Okra, a staple in southern cooking, originated in Ethiopia, Eritrea, and South Sudan. It was brought to West Africa by migrating peoples, and later to Brazil, the Caribbean, and the American South by European colonizers and enslaved people in the 17th and 18th centuries. Coffee, the fuel of many, was first cultivated and traded in the Arabian Peninsula. Brought back from Mecca by European travelers in 1615, it caused quite a stir, even being likened to an invention of Satan. Despite this, coffee soon became popular across Europe, and Dutch immigrants brought this bitter concoction to New York. It wasn't until 1773, following a revolt against British tea tariffs, that coffee overtook tea as America's favorite hot brew. Lastly, the apple. These fruits blossomed in eastern Turkey and were introduced to the West by none other than Alexander the Great. From popcorn to apples, these classic foods have traveled far and wide, shaping the culinary landscape of America as we know it today. So, the next time you enjoy these foods, remember the fascinating journey they've taken to reach your plate.